Okay guys, Bernardo Faria here. Guys, today I have the huge honor of visiting with the BJJ Fanatics tour, the Bruno Malfacine school, the Alliance Jiu-Jitsu Orlando, Bruno Malfacine. Guys, Bruno is the only person in the planet who has won 10 world titles as a black belt in the semi-division. Nobody has ever done that in the history of Jiu-Jitsu. So he's the one who holds the record, and he won in the Rooster division, which is the lightest one. And I trained with him a lot when I was living in São Paulo, training at Alliance. And he was always like the most impressive guy to watch when he was training, because he was always the smallest one. And every time he would train with someone bigger than him, he would always like kill the person. It's unbelievable like how much Jiu-Jitsu he knows. So today, let's check it out his school, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh. Guys, it's Friday night, so I expect that I never saw one jiu-jitsu school that Friday night is very crowded. So I don't expect to see a lot of students there, but the school here is growing a lot, and let's see how is everything there. Oh. Oh. Oh.
It's my first thing to look at.
He did a semi, it was 400, there was 40 students or something, right? And they wanted to roll with him.
I got there, I don't know when the guy mentioned to me, how you said that you rolled everyone? I say, what? But that's what I usually do, right? They don't do on my face.
Someone with me, guys.
I want to have one request, one rule.
Oh, you gotta go easy, you're gonna kill me.
You don't have to guard. No one on the one over. Please, you talk about your paints, okay? See?
No, his one is just as bad.
No, it's not.
It's a Canadian deal here.
8-0.
Don't even need to go deeper here, but he's more than a champion. This guy is like a true idol. This school was my very first time. The school looks beautiful. One of the nicest places that I've ever been. And this is the best of the best. You guys have like the best athlete, the best instructor, and the best person. Funny story that when we lived together, everybody in the building had family nearby. We were the only ones who didn't have family, because my family was like 7 hours away. His family was like 7 hours also. So on the weekend it was only me and him alone. That freaking building. Nice. We didn't have friends in São Paulo, so
no friends, no family.
It was just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
What was the happiest time of my
No
life?
friends,
by
no
far?
family, no money. So
Yeah, no money. That's important thing. No family, no friends, and no money. There's nothing to do.
money, we could do a lot of things, alright?
Okay, guys, I'm here today with Bruno Malfacine. Huge honor for me. Guys, I think everybody knows Bruno, but for those who doesn't know, he's the only person on the planet who has won 10 world titles as a black belt in the semi division. So he holds the record of the IBJJF, 10 world titles in the semi division as a black belt adult. And I'm here at his school, Alliance Orlando. If you guys ever come to Orlando, if you guys are ever bringing kids to Disney, make sure to visit this Mickey over here. This is the Jiu-Jitsu Mickey. Guys, Bruno shot an entire instruction about how to beat bigger guys with guard passing. And today he's going to show us here one of his favorite moves, which is a guard passing from the sit-up guard. So let's do it.
Thanks for coming. It's a pleasure to have you here. You know, finally to have you here. Today we're gonna go over one of my favorite guard passing. You know, I do a lot of like knee slice guard passing, and I think like the idea is kind of like to use the same connection, the same concept for every situation. All right. I do apply knee slice guard passing through so many directions, so many positions, and today we're gonna be going over a situation that the person going to have the heel over here, and he's gonna go for the sit-up guard. All right. So the idea over here, of course, I'm going to be close my elbows, right? My goal is to be going for the pants control and close my elbows over here. That's my goal, right? I don't want him to pull my arms and have the elbows leads control over here, especially when he does have the heel over here. Bernard's going to be going over the sit-up guard over here. So, as I mentioned before, that I had closed my elbow. My goal is to reach for the pants, all right, and have the pants control here ready. Why? His goal is going to be going for the leg, all right, and we're going to try to get this lead control. I got to avoid this here, okay? So, as he does come up, so I'm going for the pants control, and I also have the collar control over here. I'm gonna close my elbow, and my goal now is to put his back on the floor. Okay, how can I do this? If he does have his foot on my leg over here, that's gonna be impossible. But attention how I'm gonna create space by moving my leg over here. I'm gonna step over this leg, right? And I'm gonna bring my foot over here. I'm gonna step, and my goal now is gonna push him and use my foot as a hook here to open his leg and control his leg and the hips. So that's what I'm gonna do. Look here. Look how I'm gonna use my foot now. I'm gonna step the leg. Look how I'm gonna open here. That's what I have to do. So he doesn't have the leg control anymore. Look how I could kind of like create space here. Enough space for me to post my hand on the floor. Or sometimes even control the shoulder, right? I do have his leg over here, but it's not gonna be a problem. I'm gonna be diving that direction, laying my shoulder here on his face. So what I'm gonna do now, look, I can post my hand on the floor or control his shoulder. And now I'm gonna use this foot. Look how I'm gonna dive over here, and I'm gonna post my hand on the floor. So that's how I'm gonna do over here. Now I'm gonna apply my shoulder pressure to force him to look the opposite side. Like putting his back flat over here. I'm gonna control the elbow. I'm gonna slide my knee. I'm gonna start working now my connection to walk back and control his hips. And then I can turn. As I'm gonna turn outside control, I'm gonna be pulling his arm to me to connect my knee with my elbow, and I have the arm side. And we're gonna establish over here.
One more time up here. And then I'm gonna ask you some questions, but just one more time.
So we're here. He could be applying a sit-up guard from open guard, right? We're doing from the Hiva. He's gonna be coming up, right? I'm gonna control the pants, and I have already the collar control over here. He's gonna try to go for my leg, all right? So what I'm gonna do, sometimes it's hard to just push his leg and step over here. Look how I'm moving my left leg. Look here, I'm gonna create space. I'm gonna step over. Look how I'm gonna bring my foot now. I'm gonna keep my legs parallel. The same time that I'm gonna post my foot over here, it's time to open my leg and create kind of like, as I'm putting it back on the floor, I'm gonna open his knee over here, his leg, to control his hips and the leg over here, look. That's what I'm gonna do. Try to move, Bernardo. You'll not be able to move because I have the hips and the leg control over here. So I can still keep the collar if I feel that he's gonna try to use his knee enough balance, but as I have the leg control, I'll be fine. I can post my hand on the floor, right? Right now he's so big that I cannot reach the floor, but I can bring my hand and shoulder over here, and that's what I need to go in the other direction. So I have my hand and shoulder, right? Look how I'm gonna be diving that direction to bring my knee on top of his leg. Look how I did the pull him to me. Look how he's gonna become kind of like turn face to me. But now I just need to use my shoulder pressure, force him to look the opposite side, but also put his back flat. I'm going for the elbow. I'm gonna be sliding my knee. As I pass, I'm gonna start work to connect my hips on his hips. While if I just turn over here, I'm gonna give him some space to bring the leg, all right? So as I do pass, I'm gonna start work my push over here and connect my hips on his hips. And then I'm gonna be turning by pulling his elbow as well. So that way, I'm gonna avoid any rotation by controlling the arm. And that's how we're gonna finish on top.
Malfacine, so just one more time. So Guys, I love like everything Bruno does because the fact that he's small, everything is so well calculated because it gotta work against everyone, right? Okay, like most of the people that you train is much heavier than you, right?
Yeah, I started training as 12 years old, so at that time there was no kids class, right? And so I had developed a game that I would be training everyone, doesn't matter the size, you know, and the rank, you know. And I had developed a game that I would train everyone that was bigger than me, but also not to hurt myself, you know. I've been training for 23 years. I only had the only shoulder surgery, so I don't usually get hurt.
Yeah. Well, for a coincidence, just yesterday I was filming with Dominic Cruz, and he was explaining exactly the same thing. He was saying that he became so precise because he was always training people much heavier than him. So if anybody would punch him, he would get knocked out. So I think with you it's almost the same thing. Like,
same idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible. But anyways, so you're here. I'm gonna go to the sit-up guard.
Already, I'm gonna be close my elbow to get the defense control. I'm gonna control the back with collar over here. I can close my elbow if I need to kind of like use my elbow here to kind of like create space. I don't need to. But look how I'm gonna just move my leg. Sometimes I'm gonna force you to react. Sometimes I'm gonna do this here. As you push him back over here, I'm gonna bring his leg between my legs.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me that one of the most important parts of the technique is those 2 steps that you're gonna do right now. It's almost like 1, 2, right?
Yes, and then once I step over here, I'm gonna do this here, right? I'm gonna step over, and now the second one, I'm gonna have to open my leg to make sure I'm gonna control like the hips over here.
So it's almost like boom, boom.
Yes, and then I'm gonna open your knee and do not be able to move anymore.
Got it. Yeah, that's incredible.
So that's how we're gonna do it over here. So, look how I'm gonna just lean back over here. Look how I'm putting my weight on my left leg so I can create space to bring his leg into my legs. Now is the time over here. Look.
Boom.
1.
Boom. Man, that's amazing.
And I'm gonna just put my weight top of the leg over here. If you try to move behind,
there is no
you
way.
cannot move.
I'm completely stuck.
And I'm gonna kind of create space over here to post my hand on the floor. But he's so big that I cannot reach the floor. It doesn't really matter, just gotta keep my hand over here. As I'm going that direction, I can control behind the shoulder, look here. As I keep my hand on the floor, as I'm going, my shoulder pressure, look how I'm gonna apply my pressure to force him to the opposite side. I have the elbow control, I'm gonna slide my knee, I'm gonna start to walk back to connect the hips, and then I can turn and get this control over here. And that's how we finish on top.
Man, that's awesome. That's amazing. Now, so guys, make sure to check it out. Bruno shot an entire structure all about how to beat bigger guys using guard passing. So if you're a small guy and you're trying to beat the bigger guy, this is the man, this is the guy for you. So make sure to check that out, and it's at bjjfanatics.com. And thanks so much for being a host.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay guys, so we're here with Bruno Malfacine at his school, Alliance Orlando. I don't get tired of saying this, but this is the guy who broke the record on IBJJF of world titles in the semi-division as black belt, has 10 world titles. And today I'm gonna ask him a few questions here that we're not gonna take 10 hours like doing this interview, so he's gonna reply kind of quick. And most of the questions were all done by you guys on our BJJ Fanatics Facebook group. So let's see what Bruno has here. So Malfacine, what was your instructor lineage?
Okay, I started training as 12 years old in my hometown, Duque de Caxias.
12 years old in hometown,
yes.
okay.
And then I started with the instructor, his name is Carlos Santana. You know,
okay.
I was training him since my orange belt, and then he left, you know, the city. He moved to another state, you know, and then I stopped for 6 months of training. I wasn't even gonna go back training more. And then Vinicius Amaral from GFT, you know, that his academy is like gamified.
And who was the instructor of Vinicius Amaral?
Oh, Vinicius came from the Castle Grace School.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he moved from my city and started in the opening school, you know. And then I started training again. And then from orange belt to black belt, I was training him.
With Vinicius Amaral?
Yeah, since 2008, until we both decided it would be best, you know, for me, for my career, to move to São Paulo and train with Fabio.
Yeah.
And
your first black belt world title was in 2007, right?
2007.
Right.
Yeah, that was kind of like Gama Filho, like GFT.
Yeah,
I was still with him. And then I lost 2008. And then...
in 2008 you went to São Paulo, Alliance?
Yes, yeah. We had the conversation, you know, like I did want everything that I could. I felt that I could not kind of like progress anymore in my city, you know?
Yeah.
Even though I thought kind of like after winning a world title would change my life, you know?
No, and I think as well, like at that time, Alliance had more structure as a jiu-jitsu career as well. Not only like as being a world champion, but I was also from Alliance, and there was opportunities like making seminars, making a living, open a school, that kind of stuff, you know.
And that's the reason why we decided to go to Alliance, because like I was a huge fan, you know, from Alliance, you know, from Fabio, and it would be the best option for me as a competitor, you know. Because like I always like want to be a professional, you know. And the team that I was training, you know, like we not had any professional at that time. You know? I have so much respect for, you know, for Julio Cesar, for the whole team, and of course my instructor Vinicius, that kind of like he's the one that kind of like told me that I should move to Alliance. You know, I love, you know, everyone, but no doubt it was the best decision of my life. You know.
I got it. So I'm literally cheating here with the questions. So let me read here what I have. Okay, so Malfia, that's one question that a lot of people wrote in the group over there. So what Jiu-Jitsu means for you?
Jiu-Jitsu means everything for me, right? I started training as a kid, you know, and I have been doing it for my whole life. You know? And of course, like I have learned so many things. I started training to learn self-defense only because I got to build up in the street, you know what I mean? And then my uncle that I was training at the time brought me to Jiu-Jitsu, you know? And then I started training to learn self-defense and I became a competitor, you know? And for so long I thought kind of like titles and only competing would be everything, that it was kind of like was the best thing in the sport, you know what I mean? But not, like it's taught me so many values that I apply for my personal life, you know what I mean? That I don't even know what I would be doing for Jiu-Jitsu, you know what I mean? Definitely did change my life.
No, and I can imagine like how many people are like that, right? Because
exactly.
Even like who didn't grow up in Brazil but many, I mean, like some people start doing Jiu-Jitsu when they're 23 years old, but they're doing, and now they have the school, and now they're 53, you know, like so 30 years of their life. So I think most of the people who does Jiu-Jitsu becomes kind of like almost like
eventually becomes more lifestyle, right? They're kind of like and once they understand, once they get it, that it's gonna change their life for better. They're gonna learn values over here that they're gonna apply with the family, with the wife, and you know the work. You know what I mean? They never stop training again.
No, I agree. And then what's the most important thing that Jiu-Jitsu has taught you?
There is so many things, you know what I mean? Like I grew up without my parents, you know, and I think it did help me build my character. To be a better person, you know what I mean? And I think like if I would tell one thing, that definitely would help me to kind of like be a better person, you know what I mean?
And I think it's because of the fact that I mean, like in Jiu-Jitsu, when you're on the mat, we're literally like talking to people from all different races, countries, religions. And do you think that
it's definitely gonna teach you kind of like how to be humble, you know what I mean? It's gonna help you how to be respectful. It's gonna help you how to have discipline, how to be loyal, you know what I mean? How to be a better friend, you know? And I think it's really important, like you know, not only for Jiu-Jitsu but for your whole life, like for you to surround yourself with good people.
I agree.
I mean, and that's why that was me, my whole career. I mean, like I think like that is something to do with God, that I was always putting good people on my side, you know what I mean? That was teaching me so many things, you know, that it was not only on the mat, but I could apply outside of the mat, you know. That's kind of like definitely,
No, that's amazing. No, that was a great one. And then if you're starting your whole career today, is there anything you would have done different?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes, definitely. I cannot say that did not work out well, right? It worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
I don't know if I would change anything.
You don't change a lot, but
what's change a lot.
What's the little thing that you would change?
One thing, definitely, to put more time in the fundamentals. I mean,
in the foundations.
The foundation, yes, definitely, yes.
But was there any time of your career that you felt you were kind of missing that a little more? How did
maybe on my second, maybe on the world title that I lost after my first one, 2008. I mean, I definitely thought that I had to do that. It's hard to tell, right? But like definitely, I would put more time and dedication to kind of like learn the basics and have good foundation.
So like
to move to the next step.
So worrying less about the berimbolo, the lapel stuff and this and that, and focus more on the very basic stuff.
No, but I'm talking as a white belt, right? When they decided training me. Yes.
So more in the beginning of your career.
Yes, in the beginning of my career.
And what about in the overall career? Is there anything you would have changed?
I don't think so.
I agree. You're not the right person to ask this question. Okay. And Malfia here, you're 10 times world champion. So what's the goal here with BJJ? What's the focus here? Is competition? It's like just like sport jiu-jitsu for hobbyist people and everyone and this and that? Or it's self-defense? What's the...
Like our goal is the same goal as every alliance, you know what I mean, has. You know what I mean? Like even though we're the best competitive scene in the world nowadays, but we do offer it for everyone. And I think like it's not everyone that I want to be a competitor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I started training, I did not want to be a competitor. So I decided to learn self-defense, right? So I think like to teach so like you know like in general for everyone, I think like it's really hard to kind of like to make a world champion, right? You know that. I mean, you know that it's not that easy, you know what I mean? It's not everyone that I want to put the time, that I want to put the effort, that I want to be a world champion, you know, jiu-jitsu. But I think you can make everyone world champion life. You can change everyone's life. You know what I mean? So I think like that's the direction. But we also have here, we have fundamentals class, you know what I mean? We have self-defense, we have intermediate class, we have competition class, we have advanced class, we have no-gi. I think like we try to offer for everyone.
So the idea is to have everything in the menu and each person can pick whatever they want.
Definitely. They're going to reach their goal based on what they want for their life.
I got it. No, that's amazing. And in your opinion, what's the best way to make students learn jiu-jitsu in the most efficient way possible? And I mean, if you learn in the most efficient way possible, you're going to learn jiu-jitsu faster. So what's the best way to make people learn jiu-jitsu faster and learn jiu-jitsu in the most efficient way?
I think has two things that I give it to what I would change in my career, right? The first one, you know what I mean? I think like the best way to not skip any step, right? A lot of times you try to rush and you try to skip the steps, try to kind of like go to the next level, but no, it's a long journey. And you should enjoy the whole journey, you know what I mean? It's like when you're competing, right? Of course, like we all want to win, but like, it's not about the results, it's about the journey, you know what I mean? If you don't pay the price training, if you don't do the journey, like you're not gonna reach their goal, right? And I think like for, especially for the white belts, like you see nowadays, you know what I mean? The white belts doesn't want to do fundamentals, you know, even higher belts, right? I had to learn so much, you know, fundamentals, the whole foundation as a black belt. That's what I mentioned to you, what I would change, you know what I mean? But I did learn. You know, so I think like for them to not skip any step and kind of like, you know, enjoy the journey and take the time, you know, because it kind of like, you know, takes time.
No, and I think it's good to hear that, because for example, I think a lot of people, they do the fundamentals, and then the instructor says like, hey guys, 10 scissor sweeps, and then they go there, and blah, 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 and then they're not even thinking what they're doing. But if you try to understand every single little mechanic of every single position, the fundamentals become very fun, because now you're literally like understanding like human body mechanics. Like
there is no shortcut, right? There is no shortcut. Like, and I'm gonna tell you, I started teaching when they moved here in 2012. You know, when they was teaching all the fundamentals class. My jiu-jitsu got much better. My jiu-jitsu changed a lot, but just teach fundamentals. Teaching and learning with them. The question, you know what I mean?
And understanding how the move works,
every step,
every single little detail. No, that's incredible.
No doubt, always kind of like changed my game for the next level, you know, only with fundamentals.
And Malfi, it's Friday night. I don't want to take away your Friday night, but what's the most important thing you think one jiu-jitsu instructor has to have in order to be a successful jiu-jitsu instructor?
First, they need to love what they do.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. That's my number one.
I think it's my number one, right? And when they love what they do, you know what I mean? They're gonna put the time, they're gonna put the effort, they're gonna study, you know what I mean?
I agree.
They're gonna study to be the best instructor, you know, and they're going that direction. You know. And of course they need to love people, they need to care about people. You know? I had a family over here. I moved here by myself, you know, I built a family, you know, and kind of like I love my students. You know, I love my people. So and
many times I see people say like, oh, I want to do jiu-jitsu for a living, I want to become an instructor, this and that. And the maximum that you can stay on the mat per day, it's kind of like 1 hour. You know, like 1 hour, then I'm good, I'm going home. And then like, and at the end of the day, if you become a jiu-jitsu instructor, you're signing up for like 5 hours per day on the mat minimum, probably, right?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how was my routine today. It's not usually like that because like I don't teach much morning class, but I woke up today 5 in the morning. I was eating at 6:30 in the morning.
And that's true because I received the WhatsApp from you. It was like 4:40. I was like, what?
I taught 6 in the morning, and then I went to the gym to lift weight, and then I got back. I taught 11, 12, and then I went to get a haircut, and then I got back. I taught 6:30, and now. And I'm gonna tell you, like, I slept last night like a few hours only because I could not sleep, but I'm really happy. And that's why I'm telling you that you need to love what you do, because like I came to work. I was here working all day, and I'm happy. I'm not complaining about it. I could be here a few more hours, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow.
That's amazing. So love jiu-jitsu. That's the answer. But Malfi, I don't want to take more of your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to see you, to be with you.
And now I can turn off
Come
my
back
phone
more times.
because I had all the questions over here. I didn't memorize all of them. Thank you, Malfia.
Come back always.
Nossa.